This is a quick story from when I was growing up in northern Kentucky in the 90s. I would have been around 10. I'm in my 30s now, but I vividly remember this happening and still think about it frequently. My best friend lived with his grandparents for a bit, on several acres of land in Walton, Kentucky, and I spent almost every weekend there. They never really did much with the land. It remained relatively cleared, but there were no farms or structures on it. They had a horse stable near the house, but that was it. My friend had received a go-kart for his birthday, so we were out driving it around on the open land. It was just the two of us, and we were having a blast riding this thing around. It was getting close to dusk, and we knew we were both going to have to pack it up pretty soon. We came to a stop, and the engine cut out, and almost at the same time, both of us had this strange sensation come over us. We felt like we were both being watched by something. It's weird how our lizard brains can still even process something like this, but we both agreed there was a weird, overbearing feeling. We hadn't heard his grandpa's truck, and we were too far away to be seen from the house, so we began looking around. We were in an open field in the middle of their land, and it was surrounded by trees and tall brush, but something caught my eye first, and I got my friend to look in the same direction. In that brush, we could see a long, almost black-shaped thing sitting very still. I know at this point in the story, most of you are thinking Bigfoot, and I can say I remember things being dead silent. Even now I sometimes wonder if it was something else we saw, but all I remember is thinking it was a giant black wolf, about 200 feet away from us, and it was sitting perfectly still. But to me it looked furry. I couldn't make out any other personal features like eyes or ears, but I swear this thing was making us feel watched. It's like when you see a cat getting ready to pounce. That was what it felt like we were looking at. We were both getting really spooked by this point. The sun was getting low behind the tree line, and one of us was going to have to jump out and start the engine back up. We were whispering about what it was that we were watching. Honestly, I forgot which one of us jumped out and started the car back up. But when we looked back at the black shape, it was gone. The go-kart didn't have lights, so we drove as fast as we could back to his grandparents' house, and we told them what we saw. His grandparents said we probably saw a coyote or maybe a boar, but the shape was long and low. And a coyote doesn't sit well in my head with what I saw, not to mention pitch black and furry. Every few years I think about this story, and I've read there are no more wolves in Kentucky. I think I've convinced myself it was a coyote.